class, this demo that I'm giving is just quick tips of things you may have forgotten you should be doing because you've gotten lazy and, oh, I don't need to do it. I think you'll learn some things. I did, surprisingly. So I'm gonna pass these out. Don't go ahead and read them, but I know you will. Then I'm gonna be doing some demos on things, okay? You need more? Okay, I only made 40 copies. Thanks to my son-in-law. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna start with, these are just basic quilting tips 101, okay? And it's more for the newbies too, those are just starting out or haven't been quilting that long. This is improving your accuracy. First, when you start with your project and you have your fabric and you get it from the quilt store, you've got creases in it or from being stored. And you must, this is a must, iron it first before you cut. If you don't, you're not going to get accurate cuts. Now, you can spray it. This is not starch, this is the press. I just filled it up. So I'm spraying on that crease. So any creases that you have, I know it takes time to do this, but it's well worth it in the end.
Can I interject? A steam iron will do it too, if you have a really good
Steam iron, yeah.
steam iron.
But the key is to iron it.
Yeah.
Okay. Not pressing, iron. You can iron. Okay? Does everybody do that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Huh?
What's the difference? You said not press iron. What's the difference?
There is a difference, and I will show you when we get to that point. Okay?
Lead pressing. And what's the difference between the starch and the other one?
People use either one of them. I don't know, Sylvia, do you have a preference between starch and spray press?
Starch is cheaper.
I do. I use, when I want to get out a crease, that's a big crease, I use flatter. And I spray it and I kind of rub it in, because the best press doesn't get it out for me.
It's called flatter.
If I want to have a light starch, then I use the best press. If I want something that's a little harder, if I'm going to be cutting more precise, I either use the Niagara, or I use the one that's, and I love it, and I can't remember the name of it. No, it's like Quilting Craft or something like that. I'll look it up and I'll tell you.
Isn't that Material Magic?
No, not
that's
Material
first.
Magic. Material Magic is really
Is it flatter?
No, but
I'm gonna look it up.
Material,
flatter?
material magic, my experience with
Flatter.
Flatter.
I know that Michael's, I don't know if they're on the list we don't go to, but Michael's has opened up a knit and sewing center. So they've
Michael's is
taken
still
over
okay.
Joanne's. Yeah, Michael's. Yeah, I just saw a big ad twice.
but they don't have a big supply of,
No, in some
very
stores-
little
Some stores are really
fabric and,
small. The ad shows them
yeah,
like they're
no, a
like-
limited, I went to, the last 2 weeks, I went a couple times looking for thread. And it's just the little thread. I was able to finally match something that I was looking for. But I walked down there 1.5 aisles of fabric.
Yeah.
It's really not quality.
Yeah.
And then it's varied. It's like a little bit of, like a half a shelf of Christmas, half a shelf of a mesh.
For me,
And
it's like
so-
you kind of miss going to Joanne's for things like this and your irons and things like that, you know, and I really miss that, so I hope that they'll, you know,
That they
rev it up
expand.
and get going.
It's
But
called
again,
Magic.
For people who can't afford to buy these things, steam irons still do okay.
Magic Quilting and Crafting Spray. It's like pink and brown type thing. Yeah, but I agree. Good steam.
Yeah.
Good steam.
Magic and what?
Magic is the brand, and it's premium quilting and crafting spray. Well, I used to get it at, they used to have it at Joann's, and they do have it at the some quilt stores, but you can buy it on Amazon.
Okay. Yes.
I use liquid starch, and I use the Best Press bottle. It's the best sprayer, and you can make your starch as light as you want or as thick as you want. And I like it even better than Best Press because You have control of how much you wanna put in, and it works really, really well. And I buy it at the market, I buy it by the bottle, you know, and I just put it in that bottle, and depends on what I'm gonna do. I use that water, and it's very inexpensive.
Anyone else have tips or?
Someone that I know from another guild, she uses the cheapest vodka. So half vodka and then half water. And this is what she uses. Yeah. Vodka and water. Okay. The cheapest. And then buy the
Okay, the next hint. Okay, when cutting, your blade should be even with your ruler. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Okay, I had never heard of that.
Not tipped or.
It's a good tip to make sure that everything is cut the same. So,
Very straight.
okay, not sideways. Okay? Now, speaking of rotary cutter, this is something I've learned over the years that I like. And these are the titanium.
Yeah.
I think they last longer and they cut really nice.
I've had mine for a long time.
Only if
I
you
do a
don't
lot of
drop
cutting.
What?
And who makes
Only
it?
if you don't drop them.
Yeah, it's only
Well,
yeah.
Or if you nick them on your plastic.
Or cut yourself with them, yeah.
Who makes that one?
I got them from
I have a
Amazon.
question.
No, but
Do
what's the
people
maker?
resharpen them? Because I do, and I don't know how good that is.
I've tried it, it doesn't work for me.
I have and it's worked, but you gotta, it's so tedious.
My husband resharpens mine. I don't know.
I have one of those, it didn't work for me, so I just buy them.
I have the one where you put it in and you gotta have some oil on it and it turns, it spins around.
I sharpen all my blades,
Yeah.
my 60 millimeter blade. I
Yeah.
sharpen it. I put a new blade in January, and then I go all the way through the year.
Oh, my.
And I only use one blade, and I've already done 47 quilts.
What kind of sharpener do you use?
It's that one by True Cut.
Yeah,
that you
that's
run
what I
through.
got.
That's the one I use.
Oh, the True Cut, that's
Yeah.
the one where you put it in like
Yeah.
that? I haven't got that one. I got the one that spins
Right.
around.
Yeah.
He used to use that one too.
Yeah.
I have two of them.
Okay, I don't have a square table, which is what I was hoping for. But this is another tip. You know, when you're cutting and, okay, let's pretend. Let's say I'm cutting, okay, and I need to cut that way. All right, if you come around your table like this, you don't have to move your fabric, just your body, just cut. You pivot your body. It's just a quick tip if you want to do that, if you're cutting it at the end of a table instead of in the middle or wherever. So, that's just kind of a tip.
Good tip.
Or, yeah, one of those rotating.
Or if you have one of those round things too, but not everybody does. Or, you know, if you have a small mat, you can turn it, but that's just another expense. Another way, yeah. Be sure and change your blades often for better cuts. When they start getting dull, just get rid of them and put a new one in. Because, you know, it avoids a lot of aggravation.
And sometimes your blade isn't working because your mat has a little dent from where you've been using it for like 20 years like I have. So you just, and it won't cut. So I use the back of them right now to do my quilts on the bed at home when I pin it, slip it under.
And another thing, some people may not like this, but anyway, it works for me. On my machine, if I don't have a 1/4 inch, or maybe I'm not good at sewing a 1/4 inch, if you use tape on your machine and make it long, so that if you've got a long piece of fabric that you're sewing, it gives you better control for your 1/4 inch. Okay? It just helps your eyesight better. So that's just another, you may all know that, yes?
The only thing is that's a great idea, but you should take off your tape after you
Afterwards,
finish sewing. Don't leave it on there because sometimes
It'll
the adhesive, the residue. Yeah,
like this.
especially on a featherweight, it'll start to take off your beautiful.
Okay, Mama. She's right, she's right. Okay, when you're sewing, and you know this, but set it directly in front of you, because sometimes you end up moving or you move this. It's better to be in front of you.
That'll change your quarter inch. on
It'll
what-
change a lot of things, yeah, right. Okay, setting seams, talk about ironing. Some people some people get lazy about ironing, and they wonder why things don't come out. And they wait till the end of their block, or the end of their quilt. I've done that. So, don't feel like you're alone. So, what you need to do is you need to sew each block you're doing, or whatever section you're doing. If you're putting two squares together, iron it. You iron towards the dark goes. You iron towards the dark, so the dark side doesn't show on the other side, especially if you have white. And I think you all know that. Okay, does that make sense? Then after you finish your block,
that makes sense on you, so.
yeah. When you finish your block, be sure and iron it. Well, press it, not iron. In fact, someone was asking pressing and iron. There's a difference between pressing and ironing. Okay, what do you do when you do clothes? You iron clothes, right? What do you do when you are doing a quilt? You press, you don't iron. So ironing is this, pressing is this. Okay? Pressing, if you leave it down. Now, a good thing on steams too is to use your press or whatever, and that way your seam will be nice and sharp and crisp. Okay, on the other side. Now, when you're doing it too, do the back side. Make sure that your, dark is towards the dark, and you press. And you press that way because when you open it up in the back, you're not going to have, when you sew them together, your pieces, one going one way, one going the other way. Okay, because you want to nestle those seams together. This is all Greek to you right now, I know, but when you start,
You understand that?
you'll see, yeah, nesting, it's called nesting. I don't have an answer.
You have the dark up there and the dark down there.
And that way, all your seams
Yeah.
go together, look nice. Okay, okay. Matching point. I'm trying to think if that works. I'll come back to that. Change your needles after large projects or every 6 to 8 hours. You've heard that one before at other demos, but it's just a reminder. Because needles are cheap. Fixing your machine isn't.
How about months?
Needles are like 50 cents each. It's better to spend 50 cents than $200 fixing your machine because, or ruining your quilt because you have a terrible needle or a bent needle.
There's a point too. We used to put the sewing machine needle in and leave it there for a year. That was in 1955, when all the machines were just iron, steel, and they weren't, but now they're computerized.
And so were the needles.
Yes, and the needle right there, if it's off just a hair, you're gonna have some problems. So I do try real hard to, it's hard for me to take them out after only 8 hours.
Yeah, it's a pain in the neck, but it's worth it.
But I think some of us have old machines and you really don't have to change them.
Okay,
Actually, I have something to add.
yes.
Take some time to read about the different types of needles and the different
Yeah.
types of shanks, because it does make a difference.
Yeah.
Whether you're top stitching something thick or just piecing, borders together or even just blocks together. It
Because if
really
you have
does
a
matter.
tiny needle, your piecing is gonna be accurate. But if you get a larger needle, even at just a hair or a step up, like I use a size 10, my machine won't even automatically, but it gives me the most precise, what am I trying to say?
Stitch.
Piecing.
And Manny had given us a class on needles and stuff, and we
Yeah.
remember that.
I'm sorry, so did you say you use a size 10 for piecing?
Yeah,
Or paper piecing.
no, all piecing. Yeah, they're very fine, and you can hardly get, the fine, what is it?
Threaded?
Hard to get that thread into it. But there was a quilt shop up in Redwood, and I heard her say, oh, nobody wants those size 10s. It was the owner of the store. And she said, so just toss them. And I looked over and I went, are you gonna throw them out? She went, yeah. She gave me, I have a knife, I have a lifetime of size 10.
That's why she knows they're good.
Yeah.
Amazon too, so stock up, especially since we're having fewer and fewer opportunities to go buy it.
Oh, that's right.
Because, that's, there's no more cool shops, there's no more Joann's, we don't wanna go to Hobby Lobby, so buy a big bulk and save our,
I wasn't gonna go out either, but
save ourselves.
why don't we go to Hobby Lobby?
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different
Move on,
discussion.
no political
Yeah.
talk right now.
Yeah.
Okay. I will talk to you privately.
Okay.
Okay, everybody buys pre-cuts, right? Right, yes. Okay, did you know that not all pre-cuts are the same?
Yes.
They're not.
Nope.
You need to measure your pre-cuts before you start sewing them together, because some of them, the 2.5 inches might be a little bit more.
And it's,
You
layer
know?
cakes are always on.
Yeah, so I didn't know that, I learned
Yeah.
that. I just assumed. So you're paying all this money for this and it's not right. So, that's a good test. Okay, how many know how to use a seam ripper the right way?
The right way.
There's
the right way.
class on that.
This is one of the nicer ones, and they're more expensive. They run like $35. I got mine at Quilting a Day because her son makes these. He's in the other building, and he makes these. And one side has your stiletto. Everybody know what a stiletto is? Okay. It's a weapon too. And the other side has your seam ripper. Okay, for those that need a refresher on
So on
that.
that zip ripper, can you exchange the ripper
What?
on that
Can you change this?
No.
No. I mean, you
Like once they get dull, you just buy the thing.
this one lasts a long time.
Yeah.
The cheaper ones don't last. So, spend the money on a good one rather than 10 cheap ones that you can never find when you need them. Right? Okay, in order to do it, I'm not gonna rip this. You put the ball underneath. And you rip out slowly. First you'll have to start it, and you rip out slowly. Don't go fast, because you may rip your fabric, okay? So that's how you do it. So it goes in between.
The other way is I turn it over and pick at the seams.
Yeah, you need to get it
And
started.
then get a tweezer and pull them off.
Well, but everyone does it their own way. Okay, here's another way that I use, and I also use this for my bowls.
I like this.
Oh, my
Okay,
girlfriend uses
and I
that.
got this at Quilting a Day on sale for like $5, I think it was. Anyway, you'd start your what's the word I want to use? Anyway, you start it, and then you can use this
Like a shaver.
like this, and it takes that.
My girlfriend uses
Is that a shaver?
Yes.
Oh. Never used that.
Does it cut the fabric? No. Well, if you go too fast, it would.
You gotta really be careful.
You just have to be careful.
That special one.
That one that keeps coming back, But there was another thing that goes on. I took it off, so it's just, I'll pass it around. And it's battery operated, and it lasts a long time. I use this on my bowls because it was always like threads when I was doing it a certain way. And boy, it was fast to clean it up. And you could probably clean up the back of your quilt too, the threads. So here, I'll pass it.
Can you use that on your husband's
I don't think so. I have another one. Depends on how long. Oh, this.
I like the color.
One at a time.
Oh, I wanted to share something. I teach a class in Norwalk of homeschool kids, and right now I have 6 girls, and I always give them a little package of little clips and a best friend, the seam ripper, and all kinds of little odds and ends, their name tag and the whole bit. And I'll just put it to you guys. This is for you guys to keep. And then right away they want to open up the seam ripper. I says, okay, be careful with this thing, this is dangerous. I said, but this will become your best friend. They go, why? I said, if you start sewing, you'll learn why. So as I'm teaching them how to sew and they make a boo-boo, I says, remember that best friend? It's time to pull it out. I just wanted to share that with you. They really like that.
It's true.
Okay, on. Any other questions or anything about
Best
that?
friend, they don't want to give it up.
Okay, who's interested in miter corners? Who always wanted to do them but didn't know how to do them? Huh?
Wobbly?
Actually, they're not that hard.
No.
They're really not. Okay, so I have a little example here. So, when you're doing miter corners,
Don't ever put that in your mouth, please.
when you do miter corners, you're in.
Somebody swallow it.
Oh, okay. What you need to do is get your ruler and a marker. Okay, there's a little prep to it. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. You get your ruler and you're gonna mark on the corner there 1/4 of an inch. All right? You got a dot that way, and then you're gonna do 1/4 of an inch on the other side. So those two dots should match right there, right? Okay. So when you're gonna sew one side, you stop at the 1/4 inch. And I always like to secure it. Don't go past it. Don't stop before it. Stop right on the dot, okay?
Can I add something?
No, wait, let me finish. Okay, the next thing is on your other side, do the same thing, okay? So you've got 1/4 inch there. Now see, I didn't secure it, so see how loose it is, okay? All right, then you're going to do that, okay? And cross over, and then you're going to fold it over and make sure that those things match the sides, increase it, and iron it. Well, that didn't work. Hold on a second. No, it didn't.
That's good.
It was too far. You have to come to that corner. And you want to press, now to make sure you get your ruler in 45-degree angle, right? This should be a 45 degree. And I can never figure out. Okay. All right. First of all, I would do that and then pin it. There's the process. And if you forget how to do that, you can go into YouTube, because that's where I found it. I need a pin.
It's in your mouth.
Huh? I know, she made me take it out of my mouth.
I saw somebody swallow, this is a true story.
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, okay.
Well, we want to hear
Don't
it.
get out of that habit. I learned to get that out of my
Well,
mouth.
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to have 3 fingers, 3 hands. Okay, so you're gonna pin it, okay? That looks like it's a nice one, right? Okay, so I double check and make sure that it's a 45-degree angle. And you, okay, so there's your 45-degree angle there, and this has to be even with that line there, okay? So, I would iron it. Or press it. Take your pin out. Draw a line, I already have it drawn. Okay, that's gonna be your sewing line. Make sure that these are even again. Pin it. See, if I had it in my mouth, I wouldn't have to do that.
I won't let you.
Pin,
It
pin,
is right
pin,
here.
pin, pin, pin. Okay, and you're gonna sew it on that line, okay? And
So what happens if
Until
you
you
don't,
test it.
if you don't want the 1/4? You just draw the line and sew that.
You have to have the 1/4.
But you already have the 1/4, so if you just
From the corner
draw
to
the
the
line and
end.
sew on that, you would get your miter.
Sometimes you gotta kind of jockey it around so you can get it.
here it is.
Mhm. I know you have to play with it so that it
What's
doesn't
really fun is when there's stripes. After you get good at these, so that you can make
That
it
was
nice. and
I'll have to go around.
The last
Now,
one.
with your extra, you're going to cut it a quarter of an inch. That's it. And there you go. Now, what was the question? Huh? What was, yes, I'll close it.
Like, you measured the quarter of an inch on one side and then the other.
Right.
So if you abide them together like that, and then just draw the line, and then sew what you get.
But you have to have a quarter of an inch because you're sewing another quarter of an inch.
You're setting it in.
You're setting it in, and so you have to have a,
But your machine tells you when it's a quarter of an inch away, right?
Not when
machine
to
doesn't, you
stop.
gotta mark it.
You gotta mark.
No.
Unless you're really good at eyeballing.
Well, my machine has a little.
Well, you got a fancy one.
Well, then, yeah, but you just have to leave a quarter of an inch on each side. Right, because then your next seam, that seam's gonna go in between, and where is it? And you'll see. Does that make sense?
So 3 of them are meeting at that.
There's different ways of doing it, and, you know, if you don't like that way,
Check out YouTube.
check out YouTube. If you're wondering where I got all these hints, YouTube. And when did I do this? Yesterday. I'm a procrastinator. Me too.
It is a very
Okay, the next thing is I did not get this from YouTube. Okay, and how many have made a bias tape? Either for applique or whatever reason. Okay, and how many use gadgets to do it? And how many are frustrated with their gadgets? Right. I have all kinds of gadgets and I can't figure it out. I do it a cheap way. Very cheap. And I'm frugal. Okay, so this is my fabric, and I want to do either what's it called? Bias. Yeah, but a bias, but this is for
Applique?
well, for applique, and you want the curve. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you've got binding
Scallops.
Huh?
Scallop?
Yeah,
Yes,
for scallops
for sure.
and stuff, because you can't do it on a straight. Okay, this is the terminology. Okay, now, if you want, let's say you want a quarter inch, okay, bias, then you would add a half an inch to your fabric, because you're gonna turn it in a quarter of an inch on each side. You'll see what I do. Okay, so, you want it at a 45-degree angle. Your first cut, I'm not gonna cut this whole thing. So it's 45 degrees, right? And I'm just gonna cut it there. This isn't, anyway, I just don't wanna waste this fabric, because I can. Anyway, okay. So this is already at a 45-degree angle.
She wants to see it too. Oh, that's right. There you go.
Okay, somebody help me.
This is one.
Yeah, but I wanna cut it.
Just cut it, because this is already.
Yeah, well, that really wasn't how I was gonna do it. But anyway, you're gonna cut it at a 45-degree angle. Then I wanna cut it, I want a quarter of an inch, so I want,
How is the grain going? What is it?
no, I already cut it that way. So I want, what did I say? Three quarters, three quarters. Three quarters.
Oh, just gotta have my hand all over here. There.
Even it up. Pretty good. Now, what I'm getting at is, this is my little trick, okay? So I want.
Pin.
Yellow fabric. Thank you. I'm gonna mark on this. Okay, I'm gonna mark on here 1/4 of an inch, okay? Because that's what I want. I'm going to turn this in this way. Make sure it's 1/4 of an inch, not quite.
That's tiny.
That's about 1/4 of an inch. Start that off. Okay, that's 1/4 of an inch. I'm gonna get a pin. It's for applique or any size, really. This is just my quick way of doing it. If I'm at a retreat or something, or I can't find it, which is usually the case, you know, the gadget. That's my 1/4 of an inch. Start that. All right. You need an ironing board or something that you can, it has fabric that you can put a pin in. Okay, so that's 1/4 of an inch, right? Okay, I get another pin. And they didn't say why I should turn it this way. Sorry. That normally take this long. I showed this to the girls at Rosemead and they liked the idea, so that's where I got this whole idea. Okay. You guys are making me nervous.
You got it.
Write down the thing we do.
Don't worry, I got you. Go ahead.
Nobody's watching.
Nobody can see you now.
Okay, so I put pins in there, okay? And this is gonna be,
Oh, it makes sense to have that up on top, the two sides up.
yeah.
Sides.
You gotta do it in a sequence.
Instead of using a gadget, huh?
This is, right, instead of using a gadget.
I don't like, the
that you-
gadgets I have, I haven't been successful with them, so.
Exactly,
I only
okay,
work with the big one.
okay.
That one works. Yeah,
Can everybody see that? All right.
Oh my
I
gosh.
folded it over, it's 1/4 of an inch. I put pins on either side of it, okay? You can use 3 if you want, whatever you want. Okay, get your iron. Now. Okay, then you're gonna pull it.
Oh, I see.
But it's like the gadget. You pull, you insert it, and you pull it up the other end, and you have your iron.
Okay, you're gonna pull it.
You're pressing it to go along.
Okay, what am I doing? And you can't catch it, you gotta make sure you. Just on the side.
But it's good. I think
Okay, and as you do it, pull, and you probably better if you do it the other way. You iron down. You press it down. And you know, just hold this to the grass. It's just a quick idea if you need something quick.
Press the end.
See, you can just pull it and make your 1/4 of an inch. You kinda have to guide it here.
You're and
Yeah.
pressing.
And then after you do it, you
Nope.
can iron it again with spray starch or whatever.
I make different sizes because violet is not with the little
Anyway,
gadget.
so
Because I'll make
that's it.
mother.
You know, with spray starch, and that keeps it.
Not for me.
So, you just have to make sure those two meet. I mean, you could make it a little bigger and overlap them if you wanted, that's up to you. But that's just a
It
quick
came
way.
out right, idea. It
And you
came
can
out.
throw the other gadgets away. Or give them away.
You don't have to do it for them.
Raffle.
Let somebody else be miserable.
So, yeah, and that's, you know, that's for, anything that you need to have something like that. And so, how to make a bias tape easy way up there.
now leaders.
Oh, yes, leaders. Have you guys heard of leaders?
Yep.
You have? Well, I wasn't really a fan of them. Until I did YouTube and found out why you really use them. I thought it was to help you get started, so it wouldn't eat your fabric. Well, not only that, you end up with a bunch of extra threads on it. That's so you won't have those extra threads on your quilt when you start. I mean, how many times have you had a clipper and all that?
And then you end up with them on the clothes.
Yeah, so that's what the leader's for as well. Because I just thought it was ridiculous.
Sometimes you can put squares together and triangles as your leaders, and then you got a whole big quilt.
Okay.
after about
Okay.
20 years.
Okay. What are we? We have a name for you?
I have 3 ideas.
Yeah. Okay, I want to get back to
I like
that
it.
one thing
I
that
like
I was
it.
talking about.
I have
Does a lot of your ender projects. There's a basket there, that is like when you're piecing something else, you're accidentally repeating something.
It's a good idea.
Got a lot of squares.
That's like two things at once. Okay, how many have done triangles and then you've got those little ears and you don't know how to match things up because when you sew it, they're off, you gotta rip out again, right? Okay, so let's just
Hey, you
put.
guys, we're almost done.
Yeah, if you could keep it down, it'd be nice, everyone could hear, thank you. I'll use this because you can see it. Okay, this I learned too, is if you mark 1/4 of an inch on, you know, those peaks on both sides, then you know, then you can match that up with your fabric and you'll know your diamond things will come out better instead of guessing.
Is that like for the flying geese? No.
Yeah, it would be for anything that has angles. You know, it takes a little more time, but it makes it more accurate. You're not gonna have to rip out. Because sometimes you know how it gets kittywampus, and then you don't end up with 1/4 of an inch like you need. Kittywampus. That's an old term for how you work. Sorry. So, anyway, if you mark. Now, the other thing, yeah, oh yeah, under here, too, which I don't do, and I'm gonna start doing, is take your time, be slow, and press, and everything will be accurate, you won't have to redo it. Remember, measure twice, cut once. Sometimes measure 3 times. Yeah.
Madeline, Madeline, when you use a leader, you put it right up against your fabric?
Yeah.
Is that how you do it?
Well, you're supposed to, I don't really use it, but it's just to
use
get
the
you
leader.
started. Some machines you don't need to, like my aluminum, you don't, but, so, are there any questions? Okay, for sure. Does anybody have any other hints?
I have a question.
Oh, she has something to, yes.
Oh, I have a question. This is regarding jelly rolls. You know when you have a jelly roll and it's like pinked on the end? How do you determine like what the line is that you're supposed to be sewing on?
Good question.
Well, the line is you're supposed to, I've heard you're supposed to count the little things.
Oh.
That's the edge of the peak.
Yeah,
not the
the
valley.
edge of the peak is where the,
So that's where your 1/4 inch starts. Oh,
aha,
Or just measure it.
measure.
Well, the part of the beauty of a jelly roll is like I could just sew like that, and then I'm always like, where do I judge the 1/4 inch from?
If you heard my way in the beginning, when I
That was
said,
the tip right here.
that's the tip.
I can't see that well. That's my excuse. I can't hear what
You need to
you can't see, can't
measure.
hear.
Any free cuts, because they're not always accurate.
Oh.
They could be more than 2.5, they could be more than 5, maybe a smidgen.
Okay, but this was a pink, so the measure from the outside of the pink, the inside, measure
Outside.
Outside.
the outside.
The peak, if you measure it, you'll see
Yeah, not the valley, the peak.
the peak.
It always confuses me.
Me too.
Yeah.
Especially when you're joining Kaufman with Moda, with
Yeah.
whatever, and that'll be a problem.
So measure.
Okay, Pat has another thing that she wants to share.
Okay. I've got three things actually, and they're quick.
It's okay.
When you're applying, I'm not gonna get into how to apply or anything, but when you come to a corner and you gotta go a quarter of an inch, what I do is turn my sewing machine, turn the fabric, and put a seam out to the corner. And then that way it really makes a nice corner. So that's one thing.
Oh, wait, when you do that, when you go to do your binding, if you clip your corner, it takes away the bulk.
I know, but I don't do that until I'm actually.
Well, till you're ready to do your binding, but yeah.
So, then the other thing is, when I get to the point where I'm gonna overlap, I just thought of this about, I don't know when, but anyway, I pin.
Can you talk louder?
Okay, I gather up about 4 inches of fabric and pin it with a regular pin, and then that way you can go over here and work on your joining your two diagonals together, and you got room. And I used to leave like about 6 inches, and so you're down in here like this. Now I leave about a foot, because it's not going to matter when you get done. You're going to pull it out, take the pins out. The last thing is I use my walking foot when I apply my bindings. It's like night and day from trying to use a quarter, just a regular sewing foot. So that's it.
Oh, one other thing I forgot that I did not mention on there. Let's say you're doing your binding, or you're doing your borders, and you want to have the angle instead of just sewing them together.
Yeah.
Okay, you get your pieces of fabric like this, and then you're going to
From the
you're
other
gonna
side.
sew from here to here. When you turn it this way,
Mm-hmm.
you can have one piece. You don't have to bulk. Just remember, this top will go on, the right-hand piece will go on.
The right hand, the top one comes with face up,
Yeah.
and the next one comes face down. I put in about 7 bindings over the last week or so, and twice I twisted them and had to cut tape by
So you could draw a line from one end up here to this end, and then cut off the excess, and then you end up having one piece that looks nice with that, the diagonal. And it decreases the bulk,
Yeah,
because I've broken 3 needles this past week putting the binding on because there was too much thickness. Okay.
When you do that, do you then press them open, or the backside, or do you press them?
That's, I don't, it's a preference. I don't, some people do. I find pressing open is hard.
Yeah.
I press them open, and then that way when you fold them over, they all kind of go outward. And so,
But they say the other way, it's more stronger. If you fold them over, they say that it will last longer, because once you open the seam, it weakens your fabric between one stitching between one and the other. That's what I've read. I don't know if that's true.
Well, it
So
kind
I
of is, but I try not to pull on my binding when I'm going through the cycle.
And I also machine bind. I don't know if a lot of you do. I use a serpentine, which is nice. And I have been doing it this past week for the philanthropy quilt. And I sew on top, not the back
Oh, that's why I just started. I put it on
And
the
I'm
back.
finding that it's coming out nicer. It's not showing on the quilt. So,
Faster too.
it's faster, and the serpentine is nice to do the zigzag. I have not had good luck with the straight because it doesn't meet the dash. You could do a zigzag, but the serpentine is like a snake. Okay, and I make it longer on my machine. I just do it so long as it can go. And it's nice.
Is it also too, because usually if you're gonna be making a utility quilt, that it washes better, it doesn't come out as quickly?
Yeah, I take the
I
time
know.
putting all that handwork in. It takes,
Right.
for a lap size, maybe 4 hours. That's a lot of time. Where you could do it maybe in an hour.
I just have a comment. On my dad's side, we're indigenous, and I know there were weavers. And when I'm doing this, I just feel like I'm making a connection to my ancestors. So I feel like, you know what, and when I did do it with machine on both sides, I was just telling her it looked like crap.
It is different strokes for different.
You know, and the preference, you know, those quilts that are special, yeah, I
Yeah.
right.
The special ones I do.
Yeah, you know, like for the philanthropy, no, because it's gonna be thrown in the washer. Baby quilts,
Yeah.
machine, because they're gonna be thrown in the washer. So, yeah. Okay. So, any other questions?
Thank you, Madeline.
You learned something.